right now I'm at the South Carolina Botanical Gardens located within or just outside of Clemson University. And those ducks I just fed, after I fed them, I tried asking if they've heard of Friend and Girlfriend and if they would like to talk about it, but they told me to get the fuck out. So now I'm out here, no one in sight, so I could talk about Friend and Girlfriend. Before we get started, this isn't a review or anything of the anime or the manga, so if you're here for that, then I'm sorry. But if you're an anime only watcher or not current with the manga, then I would advise you not to watch this video, since there's probably some minor spoilers. So, as someone who's been a reader of the Ren and Girlfriend manga for around 2 years now, it'd be an understatement to say that the pacing is slow. I mean, never mind the just typical cop box and all that, which happens in pretty much every romantic related thing, but it's just a slow pacing. It seems like it's never going to end. I mean, as of saying this, we've spent the last 7 chapters at a pool with nearly no progress, just little. And it's for a lot of people, it's a very frustrating read. Kazuya's like Chizuru for a long time now. He first realized he liked her in chapter 16 and first tried to confess to her chapter 49. We are now on chapter 199. That's 150 chapters since he first tried to confess to her, and many more confessions didn't work out took place between then, and it's just been a very, very long time. Reluctant readers will point out that there's been very little progress since chapter 49. I mean, there's been some progress, but ever since the movie arc, which I don't know when that ended, probably like a year ago at this point, there's been very little progress. And it's just, instead of going up like that, it's more like it's going up slowly. And I can relate to the reluctant readers, since, I mean, as I said, we all know how it's going to end. He's going to end up with her, but for whatever reason, it just won't happen. Along with that, there's a lot of other complaints not related to pacing that are more along the lines of Kazuya's a simp. Like, yeah, no shit. The other ones are about other characters such as Ruka. What is her point in the show at this point? Mami. So we don't really know what her deal is still. 200 chapters in nearly. Sumi. I mean, she's a side character. No real point of her. And then there's also Yaimori, which pretty much disappeared in the last few chapters. Right now, she might reappear later. More than likely she will, but it just, the problem with Ren and Girlfriend at this point is that it doesn't really have any direction, if I'm being quite honest. Like, we know what the end goal is, but I don't really know how we're going to get there, which is a bit frustrating. With that being said, there are some interesting counter arguments to the point that Ren and Girlfriend has slow pacing, and in general, I've been coming around to it, even if I still agree that it has slow pacing. Going back to Kazuya, yeah, he's a generally annoying person, overreacts a lot, is a bit of a simpleton, but he also lacks confidence, and that makes him believe that someone as seemingly as perfect as Chizuru would never like him, even though it's quite obvious at this point. Anyone who's been paying attention to reading for the last 2 or 3 years at this point, that she does have feelings for him, but he does not know that, since he doesn't have the hindsight and the foresight that we do. And I mean, it's understandable, to be quite honest. It's frustrating, but it's understandable. Also, with it being long, although not terribly long, it's been going on for 4 years now, I think. yeah, around a little bit more than 4 years now. But sorry, there's a spider web that just came on top of my head. But it gives it something that's a little bit different than the other romance manga, romantic comedy manga. I mean, it's a very interesting concept for a manga. That's the only reason why I'm reading it and still reading it. It's still very interesting. Even though it's very frustrating to read, it's not necessarily bad, it's just frustrating. Thinking about this whole issue made me wonder, would Rent a Girlfriend be less frustrating to read if it was a light novel instead of a manga? And thinking about it, I know it'd be a very unpopular decision among fans if it initially was switched, which is not going to happen. It's just a what if. But for exchange of weekly animations of your favorite girl and whatever, you get released once every 3 or 4 months, and you get that arc in one bite, several bites, one huge bite, instead of being spread out for months at a time, which is very frustrating, as I said a million times by now. And it just made me think, I don't think most people would want to do the switch, but quite honestly, as someone who prefers story over art, if I could go back in time and get the switch, I would. But I mean, that's just what I think. Also, I have to keep in mind that it's all a perspective of how you read it. Like, someone who just started reading Rent a Girlfriend yesterday and binged it and just finished it right now, 24 hours after. Sorry, there's a lot of bugs here. But they're going to have a different perspective. They're not going to have the perspective of someone who's been reading it weekly for years now. So they're going to be less frustrated since they read it, like, instead of, like, for weeks on weeks at a time. So I think it's just that it's frustrating because it's a victim of being released weekly instead of, like, having huge chunks of the story released 3 or 4 times a year. And so instead of that, we're getting little bites every, like, probably about 45 to whatever times a year, which makes it seem like it's going extremely slow, which for a manga it is. But at the point is just, I mean, I'm starting to weirdly kind of enjoy it, not in a masochistic sense, it's just something different. And the reason I've been thinking about this is not really that research, to be quite honest, I guess you can tell, but I just want to know, like, if you got this far, what do you think about it? And is there any other manga that's like this? Since, as I said earlier, I don't read that many manga. Some I do, but I'm generally more just a anime watcher. So is there anything else? Yeah, that's all I have. So if you have any other manga, if they're like this that you'd like to name in the comments, go ahead. And I don't really like to ask this, but if you enjoyed the video, just subscribe so I know there's people interested in this. And that's all I have for today. Now the only thing I have to do is to get the hell out of here and use these 5 quarters to feed the ducks some more. Hopefully I'll get on their good side and we can talk about Shirobako or something else.